Rodney, it's been a year since the postal survey result was announced. How do you look back on the campaign? What are your thoughts on the campaign? What issues come up for you?
Well, James,
You were at the centre of it.
pretty heavily involved, as you know. Yeah. And so I have a lot. There's a lot of reflections. I mean, obviously, I've been to some beautiful weddings this year that would not have occurred had that reform not happened. So I feel so privileged on each occasion to be asked to those weddings and to myself begin to plan my own wedding for next year. And like I said, I can see that as a result of all these debates over many years, Australia has fundamentally changed for the better. And that's, in the end, what matters most. But I still cannot leave behind, and I will never leave behind, I think, my reservations about how we got there in the end. I don't believe that the ends justified the means being the postal survey. I still come across people, particularly young trans people, but others as well, who were deeply scarred by that and may never recover. And I still come across examples of, I still encounter people who lost loved ones because they killed themselves. I mean, and that's a fact. And so I will never reconcile myself to that. And I don't think I will ever reconcile myself either to what I believe was probably the wrong approach on behalf of sort of the Yes campaign in terms of trying to make marriage equality a small target and not directly addressing the fear campaign from the No side. There were so much of that fear-mongering was left out there and not responded to, and so many LGBTI people, particularly the vulnerable ones, felt undefended and, to use their phrase, thrown under the bus. I think it would have been possible I know it was possible for the Equality campaign and the Yes campaign to directly engage with those negative narratives about LGBTI people, and to turn them around into a positive for us that would have actually built the equality narrative and built the Yes vote. So I think there was a deep and grave strategic error that was made. And I'm happy to say to you now that was one of the reasons that I left in 2016, because I could see that was the direction that was taking. And I've devoted my whole career doing this stuff, this 30 years this year, to always tackling prejudice when it appears. Never angrily, never negatively. I believe firmly in always having a positive response to prejudice, but you must respond. You cannot let it go. The fact that it was let go during that period, I think, has resulted, like I said before, in a lot of harm, unnecessary harm that was done to vulnerable LGBTI people and their friends and family, and also has left us in the midst of these debates about safe schools and religious freedom and transgender rights. I think we would be a lot further down the track on those three if we'd dealt with them a year, 2 years, or 3 years ago, if we'd made the decision as a community to stand up to them. In Tasmania, when the postal survey was on, we did stand up to them. We actually had social media material out there and mainstream media material saying, that's wrong, and this is why it's wrong, and this is, in fact, what the situation is. And reminding people that the sky didn't fall in when we got decriminalisation of homosexuality 20 years ago, which many people still remember, and it won't fall in now. And that didn't hurt the campaign. In fact, Tasmania scored the highest yes vote of any state after Victoria. So responding to hate is possible. Responding to hate in a way that actually builds the equality narrative is possible. It's happened. We've seen it before. I just feel so sad that we didn't do that nationally last year.
Rodney Croome, thank you so much for talking to us today on 3CR. It's always wonderful to hear your voice on the airwaves, and thank you so much for all your fantastic work over the last 30 years supporting the community, and no doubt you'll be doing it for at least another 30 more.
Well, I hope so, James. we'll see about that. But I appreciate you having me on.
No worries. Until next time.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.